Shine Wild Ones, it's Bernadette. I'm here with your Pick a Card Tarot reading for Monday, January 25th, 2021. This reading today, y'all, it is both heavenly and all kinds of lunar, shimmery, beautiful moon energy. And then right behind that beautiful shimmery moon is trickery. So we're going to talk about trickery today. All right. So the critter that has shown up for you all today as your spirit totem and power animal is the silkworm. And the silkworm seems like a pretty unlikely kind of spirit totem or power animal, except when you consider how much silk people wear in the world, how much they love it, how it makes them feel, what it feels like to their physical, and then that will mentally make them feel a certain way. And for so many, centuries and centuries, silk was a harbinger or like a sign of wealth. Only the most wealthy and abundant could afford silk, right? And the colors, the shimmer that comes, that's where the lunar energy comes from, is that shimmery moon kind of thing that no matter what color silk is, it's just got that, I'm a cotton girl myself. Silk is not for me, but I in scarves and that kind of thing, I appreciate the beauty of it, right? Especially some of the patterns and let me get back to the silkworm. So what silkworms immediately signify is that abundance, like literal physical abundance, whether it's money or it's, the possessions or, whatever, but you need money to buy those things. That's on your mind, and you've got to know that you're coming into a time where the heavenly, the divine, the lunar is going to really help you out with that financial, right? In a very positive forward momentum. Now, having said that, let me say this. Purportedly, bees and silkworms are the only insects that have ever been domesticated by humans. Well, I would argue that, do you really domesticate a silkworm? Can you really domesticate a bee? You might have you might have an apiary, you might have all kinds of bee houses and that kind of thing. And of course they're going to stay around there if you treat them well and there's no disease, right? And come on now, let's be honest here. What is a silkworm going to do if a human picks it up and plucks it and puts it someplace and creates a good environment for it? It's maybe in its little silkworm mind, it's like, I got to get out of here. I'm feeling trapped, which I wouldn't put past them. I believe that every living thing has a consciousness like that. Every living thing. Every living thing. Now, having said that, let me also say this. In that is a huge, huge, huge symbolic meaning kind of thing for today's reading. Today's chakra is the root chakra. And the lunar, that lunar energy, the moon, is the ruling planet of Mondays. Moon days, right? Okay. So this is going to be a lot about emotions, but the emotions that are really, really deep-seated in your core, that are deep-seated in your root chakra. And so this could be a really good day to take a look at your viewpoint about money. Not even abundance, but flat out, straight up money. And see if there are places that you could work on to make that attitude more shimmery, more beautiful, more flowy, more great to the touch, right? Just make you feel good all over. Just all up in your business, feeling good. Okay, so then we come to kind of the opposite side of that. We hear all the time we are what we eat. I believe there's some truth to that, because when you consume something, you are consuming its energy. You're consuming everything that it's thought, that it's experienced, everything. And energetically, you're consuming it, right? Okay. God loves silkworms. They consume two types of trees. One is the mulberry tree. That's awesome. Mulberries for centuries have been the same as silkworms. Just a great harbinger of, abundance and fertile everything and this lush, lush, beautiful color. And, then of course you talk about the silkworms consume this and then they lay their eggs. So that, that whole mulberry thing would imbue their beautiful eggs with all of that same kind of energy. And of course, the egg symbolism is all about abundance and rebirth and new growth and life and that kind of thing. However, Silkworms also consume from a tree called the tree of life. That sounds so great, doesn't it? And when it's in China, it's a great tree. We love it. We love that name. Who doesn't love that name? The tree of heaven, also called the spring tree, it has great connotations until you know what it does here in the United States, which is threaten our ecosystem. It's no bueno, you guys. It is what it emits in the soil is toxic. That stuff can grow. You can fling a seed of that and it'll grow right in the middle of a highway in New York City, LA, right there. Bam, it's going to grow. In a way, that's good, because what that shows is that whatever your thing is going on about money, about beauty, about the moon, and oh, that just came out, the whole beauty thing. That didn't come out before, but I was just told to use beauty as a roadmap for maybe what you think about money. Maybe money is ugly to you, or how you get money is ugly to you, or yeah, it's something like that. So maybe as you're working, listening to this reading or considering it later on, if you do, think about what your, I guess, viewpoint is about the beauty of money. Personally, I love money. You know why I love money? I love it because it enables me to do things I couldn't ordinarily do, not just for me, but for the animals of the world. I mean, I can only go to so many sanctuaries and volunteer for a day or a half day or wherever. That's what I can do. But I surely can write a check. Now that's something I definitely do. You see? So that's beautiful to me. So something, I'm going to leave it with you. Leave that. Just think about the word beauty in terms of what you think about money and what this reading, this silkworm as a spirit totem and power animal is going to bring to you. Okay. So that tree of heaven, that spring tree, right? Spring is like, gosh, I mean, there's a reason I run my Kickstarters in spring. You think I don't want the energy of renewal and abundance and fertility, and I'm going to harvest the, abundance later so that I can keep the abundance flowing and doing other things for animals? And yes, there's a plan, there's a reason. It's an energy thing. However, because the tree of heaven is so unbelievably, like crazy, unbelievably invasive and harmful to our environment, I often say that the symbolism and meaning and messages that come to me or any other reader may not be what you've read in a book. I had somebody take issue with me one time because I didn't say exactly what the beloved and much revered, and believe me, that's from me, time-honored Ted Andrews, who he didn't start the spirit animal, totem animal thing, but he certainly is the one who was able to bring it into mainstream culture back in the 70s. He's the grandfather of all of this in terms of mainstream awareness, okay? Oh, she took issue because I had things in my deck, meanings in my deck that weren't in Ted Andrews' book. I'm like, okay. And it might seem like I'm going down a rabbit hole, but I'm actually not. This is very, very pertinent to this reading, because it's about being able to see what is heavenly and what is not heavenly, what is divine or looks like it's divine, but it actually isn't. And so I would encourage you, as you work with the animals of the ark, or you work with any tarot deck, or you work with any animals, or maybe you've got a chakra deck, maybe you've got a fairies deck. Ooh, fairy decks. Maybe it doesn't matter. Whatever deck, whatever is coming to you that is part of that animal or person's image or color or chakra or whatever that comes to you at that moment, good for you. That means that you're tapped in and you are downloading that information straight from the source, which, by the way, is you, because you are the universe and the universe is you, which is ultimately what made me laugh at this. Well, I would have laughed at him anyway, but not at them, but with them, knowing that, one day she'll catch up. But the other thing is laughing at myself, because I was just as entrenched in what I believe. It's not to say that I'm just as wrong can be, but it's what I believe on. It's what I believe. It's what I stand on. And so I must do what I do now. Tomorrow, when I know better, I'll do better. Right, Maya Angelou? Okay. But it really is a call in knowing these other things about silkworms, understanding the tie-in, connecting the dots of the trees that they consume, because they're the only trees that they consume. Understanding how that could energetically affect the symbolism and meaning of a silkworm, it's incumbent upon me to share that with you. So let's say that you've got, a, you want to start a business. Let's say a relationship of some kind. You want to make more money. You've found a way that you think you can make money. I really would caution you to do some heavy duty checking in to see if it really is divinely inspired, and that everything that you're going to get from that is going to be shimmery and feel good and feel beautiful, and that you'll feel beautiful engaging in that. Especially because, again, silkworms bring with them that very powerful egg energy. And that is, my gosh, that's like, that's like the universal womb, right? So just check into it, and don't also, along with that, if somebody needs to feel like they've domesticated you, the humans clearly think they've domesticated a silkworm. Oh gosh. Now I'm going to eat my words one day, because I just know on YouTube there's going to be a video of some person, giving hand signals to a silkworm, and the silkworm rolling over and, begging for mulberry treats, or it's going to sit up and all of its little, because it's a caterpillar really, and its little legs are going to wave, and, you're going to give it a little mulberry. That's going to happen. I know it is. But for today, I haven't been able, because I did, before I opened my mouth, I looked all over YouTube and the internet to find out if somebody actually trained a silkworm, because these are the things that I think of, right? So here's the thing. On the one hand, silkworms are your golden ticket. It really is Willy Wonka's golden ticket. You can spin the most fantastical whimsy dreams that will come true, and all the shiny that goes with it. And on the other hand, it is definitely a call for you to be very vigilant about what you're consuming, and then what you're manufacturing. What is the silk that you're spinning into this world? And is the silk that's being spun to you, is that a good enough quality silk? Might be, it might not be, but those are your thoughts for this Monday. So I hope this was helpful. Pick up your copy of the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And as always, stay wild.